Hi, I'm Daryl Forte, owner of Everlast Software. Today I'm going to be discussing encryption and just explaining in general what it is. So the whole purpose of encryption is to take data or information and to obfuscate it or make it garbled so that no one can read it except for you or the people or the party that you want to receive the data. If we look at the screen here, you can see there's two notepad windows open. One on the left is just a normal text message and it's readable. The one on the right is what it would look like when it's encrypted. In this particular case, that's what it looks like when you encrypt it with my software, ES-Encrypt. But there's all kinds of programs out there that do similar things. So that being said, there's two main types of encryption. There is what's called symmetric encryption and there's asymmetric encryption. Symmetric means the sender and the receiver have to know the password to get the information. This can be a real challenge when you're working with remote people. The reason being, you have to communicate the password to them ahead of time. Now sometimes that's fine. You know, it may be a family member or a friend and you talk about sharing information, or maybe you do it regularly. So you can meet in person and exchange the password. And then as long as it's a really good password and you don't tell it to anybody else, symmetric encryption is the best way to do encryption. There's no possible way for someone to intercept that information and do anything with it. Of course, like I said, you can't always do that. So if that's the case, you have to fall back to what's called asymmetric encryption. This is what websites use. When you go to a secured website and in your web browser at the top you see HTTPS or you see a little green lock icon, that means it's using asymmetric encryption. Asymmetric uses mathematics in order to make it not very likely that someone can reverse engineer and get the information back. Now there have been vulnerabilities found in certain asymmetric encryption algorithms. Some of them it's just because the key size is too small. In other words, the number of combinations they're trying to use is too small, and so that hackers can potentially get that data. But that's the same case with symmetric encryption as well. If you choose a password that's too weak or too small, you know, someone can intercept it and brute force through that password. So asymmetric is much more friendly because the receiver doesn't have to know the password. It's negotiated on the fly using mathematics. And it's way too complicated to get into the algorithms that do these types of encryptions in this video, but you could always do some research on your own if you want to understand how they work. You could look up what's called RSA encryption. That's the main one that a lot of previous websites have used. Another one is called AES, Advanced Encryption Standard, which is typically used with symmetric encryption. So this was just for a high-level overview of encryption for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. The contact information is at the bottom of the video. And I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.